Hey everyone, it's Alana, your CFS Fairy. I'm back! Sorry I haven't been here for the past 3 weeks, but it was very difficult spring break with having a concussion, and then after the kids went back to school, I had 18 or 19 appointments in 3 weeks, and some of them were very intensive, and then that's not even including all the baseball 6 days a week and dancing twice a week, and so that my son is being tested for, he's having a psych ed test done, and it was a half-hour drive each way, so it really took it out of me. It wasn't until Friday where I could actually I canceled an appointment and I just stopped for 3 days. I did nothing, and by Monday I was feeling a little bit better, and really just proving to me yet again that I have chronic fatigue. Yay, another red flag. And the last couple of days it's been very warm here, and that I don't deal well with the heat. And I know some of you out there also don't deal well with the heat. Usually when it's summertime I have 4 air conditioners going to cool down the house, but you know, right now it's just the end of April, so we don't have our air conditioners out, so it's been crippling, the heat. And I also get very irritable, and then I have my period, so you can that amounts to a whole lot of pleasantness, I'll tell you. And I'm sure, you know, and then there was my youngest birthday, and that was 3 days of birthday parties, friends, family, you know, and husband and busy season. So it's just been a lot to take on, and I'm really sorry I haven't been here for you guys, but I'm back. And you know, it's been probably the most difficult time in the last year, because I'm heading on my 1-year housebound anniversary, which is really sad, because this isn't me. This isn't who I am. Like, I am not my disease, but I feel like that's what I've become, is my illness, and I'm constantly monitoring myself for symptoms, side effects to medications and treatments, and you know, I really I don't know what to do about surviving this. And I will survive this. I believe that we can all survive this, but there has to be a better answer than just lying in a dark room by yourself, because the isolation alone will drive you mad. And, you know, I'm not sure about everybody else, but I need to have like an hour or 2 of sheer quiet, dark room, and, you know, to regenerate. And I've had all these appointments, I haven't been able to do that. And then there was my middle son's dance performance on Thursday, and I have to say, I am a bit proud of myself. This is a parenting technique, I guess, to be able to get through these things. It was very important to him that I come see him dance. So, you know, I found out when he'd be on. I went for the first 45 minutes, then I laid down in the lobby. Then I came back in when and I kept asking people, do you know what song they're on? Which one are they on? And then I went back in and watched his second and third performance, and then I left, and he was happy that I came. Now, at Christmas I missed all the Christmas concerts because I couldn't handle being in that open gym with the echoing and the people talking. It was just too much for my system. So, and then not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, it was a beautiful day, one of the first beautiful days of the spring, and my kids were stuck in the house with me, and my husband's working. So what do? I hit it out of the park, I have to say. I created a scavenger hunt that put them on their bike for 3 hours, going all over our town. Actually, I think it's a city now. But all over our city, downtown and the library and everything, and they had to take pictures of themselves. You know, there's a statue at the library, and they had to take a picture of themselves in the statue position. And I also gave them some obscure things, like they had to go to my oldest school and take a picture of themselves with their feet off the ground. And where I would have just stood on my hands, they jumped up in the air. So it was interesting to see what they came back with. And then in the end, I ordered them Starbucks with my phone app, and I had them go pick up their Starbucks as a reward. And still after 3 hours, they came home bickering. And supposedly it was really good until the Starbucks, when my middle son didn't want it and he kind of threw a bit of a fit. But anyways, it kept them busy, and they uploaded all their pictures to Instagram. And so it was a bit of a fun time and, a little adventure for them. The only bad thing is one of the places I sent them to was closed, which is too bad because that's where my treat was. So anyways, that was one of my parenting, wins. And it's those little wins that get me through the day. So, lately I haven't been able to walk the dog because I've been just really, really sick. So I get in my car and I drive to the dog park, and there's other adults there to talk to. There's always somebody new to talk to. And so I really found that has broken up some of the isolation. And one of the things I've been talking to my counselor about is, what do you do, how do you accept help without feeling like a failure? And so I made a deal with myself for the past week. I won't say no. If somebody offers help, I say yes. And I ask for help, even when I feel uncomfortable, and I'm going to keep doing that until I feel comfortable with it. Because I was that parent. I was the parent that picked up everyone's kid and took them to Girl Guides and took them to camp and, took them on Pro D days. And you know what? It may not be the same people, but I deserve to feel like I'm not going to die. Therefore, I need help. And right now it's busy season and a really busy activity season for the kids, and I need help. So even though I feel uncomfortable with it, I've been asking for help as much as I can. And I think that's helped instead of me being down for 8 weeks, I was down for 3 days. Now, I have I think some supplements have helped. Like, I decided that the cannabis isn't for me. It makes me too exhausted, and it's great if you have fibromyalgia, if you have pain. I have pain, but it's specific pain. It's not, or it's that all over pain. And I just don't find that it's worth, it's a balancing thing. If I'd rather have the pain than the exhaustion, you might rather have the exhaustion than the pain. The exhaustion makes me nauseous, makes me not be able to regulate my body temperature, lowers my blood pressure, makes me ill and sweaty and achy and stuff. So it doesn't really do any good for me that way. So I decided, since I spent $600 on cannabis in the last, since January, I'm going to just use it up. So first thing is, I bought the vaporizer and found out that my lungs can't handle it. So now I'm out $100 just for that. And then I have a bit of dried cannabis, which I'm going to turn into a topical oil, which I did with the CBD that I got and it didn't, or the indica that I got that didn't work for me. It was just made me high and I didn't like that feeling. So I turned it into a topical by infusing it with coconut oil and putting it on where I have pain, and it actually really has helped. It's been like a Voltaren type of thing. And then I decided, I'm just going to try the cannabis and just keep upping it until I find that sweet spot. And I found that 1 ml of a 1-to-1 CBD indica with 2 magnesium malates, I've been able to get off lorazepam and been able to sleep deeply enough that when I wake up, I actually feel somewhat rested, which I haven't had in years. So that's actually really good. I found one of my friends from my support group told me about something called kratom. Now, I'm not an advocate for it, or I'm not for it or against it. I'm just saying that right now it's legal, and there are some strains that are going to work for you. There's some strains, so it's very much like cannabis. You really have to do your due diligence, and you have to try a little bit and then work your way up. Start low and go slow. That theory. And I mean, the reds tank me. I don't find that I'm rested. The only problem I find with kratom is, okay, so I take it, and within half an hour I can literally feel it kick in. And it helps, like the green and the whites usually help with energy. So and something called, I'll put it down, Maengda, Maeng space DA, I've found works the best. And due to my research, it seems like that would be the best for a lot of us, because it's not only a strong painkiller, it also helps with mood and energy. Problem is, it lasts for about 3 to 4 hours, and then I feel worse than I did before I started it. So unless you're planning on taking it on a regular basis, it is a substance that people use to get off opiates. Opium. I guess opium would be an opiate, but anyways, so a lot of people who have those issues have used it to get off it, but even though they say it's not addictive, I do find that if I don't take it like markedly every 4 hours, then I crash worse than I did, and my system just feels raw. So, like I said, not advocating for it, not against it. It's help, and I definitely take it when I know that, like, I have to go out for dinner or something like that, but I don't take it on a regular basis. But my friend, she takes it all the time, and she has found it being really helpful. So it might be something you want to put some research into. It's from East Asia, I think. I don't know. I don't know much about that, but it's in the coffee bean family. So anyway, so I've tried that. And then in the time that I had all these appointments, I went back to the mental health team. Ooh, why do they keep doing this to me, sending me back to this place? Anyways, after an hour with a psychiatrist, she tells me that my chronic fatigue is caused by the fact that I've basically taken care of everybody my whole life, based on the fact that that's my personality, 1, 2, my family needed me. So I've taken, and I haven't given much to myself, and that is what's causing my chronic fatigue. And I'm depressed. Okay, now let's go through this. I am depressed because I'm sick. I'm not sick because I'm depressed. But she did give me some interesting information on antidepressants. She said there's 5 antidepressants that they recommend for people with chronic fatigue: Cymbalta, Effexor, Wellbutrin, Voloxetine, and Pristiq. But they need to be at the highest doses that you can manage to get the stimulant effect. So for like 12 years or 15 years, I was on 450 milligrams of Wellbutrin. In the last year, they've weaned me down to 125 or 150. And now they're making me go back up to 450. So basically, I feel like I'm where I was a year ago. And it seems like every 2 years, they send me back to the mental health team, where I've been diagnosed with personality disorder, with depression, but never with chronic fatigue, because that really doesn't exist in the psychiatry world, does it? Anyways, so now I'm working my way up to 450. I'm probably going back on stimulants. Maybe I'll go back on the low-dose naltrexone. And I'll use the 1-to-1 cannabis at night with the magnesium malate. And I'm saying, by the end of the day, I'm not feeling well. But at least during the day, I've been getting a couple hours of really good, clear energy. So, right now that's enough for me. And it will help me to get out and have a social life again, and feel like less of a failure, and be less isolated. So let's hope. Anyways, that's for me this week. If this week's not good, maybe next week will be better. And surround yourself with love and support, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh, and remember to subscribe and like and share and all that kind of stuff so that we can get our message and educate people out there and help people who have CFS who are newly diagnosed. We're here for you, and I'm going to put a link to my support group on Facebook. They're the most amazing people ever. So, and hi to you guys that are actually watching. So I'll see you next week, hopefully. Take care. Bye.